Hi guys, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. It is currently pouring down rain outside, so I apologize for the lighting. This reading vlog should actually be a little bit unique because Clay and I are venturing into a big renovation project over the next 9 weeks. We're actually redoing our bathroom and laundry room in our house, mostly because we have very old plumbing that needed to be replaced, so we're using that as an opportunity to cosmetically do some updates. Anyway, I bring all of this up because the kind of structure of my vlogs will be changing for the time being as this project is underway, because it is going to take a little while. Essentially, little Miss Matilda and I are going to be sequestered in our own little room, and we're just going to be hanging out. I'm going to be doing work. She's going to be vibing and sleeping. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to film during the day, during the week, so my work schedule is sort of shifting to match the construction hours. So that means sometimes during the week I'm just gonna have more time to read because I simply cannot do anything else at that juncture. That being said though, I'm both very excited for this vlog, very excited for this construction project that's about to get underway. I will of course keep you guys updated with that over the many upcoming weeks. For now, let's chat about the book I hope to read over the course of this week. It's demo week in this house, so I thought, you know, let's match that energy with The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is the third and final book to the Bloodsworn series, and it's a Norse and Viking inspired series. It has a lot of action, fascinating characters, and of course, God. I've been looking forward to picking this book up now for weeks, but I decided to save it for this week as I feel like it might be like a little bit stressful, a little bit loud, so I felt like this would be the perfect distraction. But anyway, welcome to the start of the vlog. I know this is maybe a little bit random, but hopefully also a little bit fun as we watch the work progress together. In fact, demolition starts today, and this bathroom will be no more very soon. They have to tear out all the walls and the floor and all of those things again for the plumbing. So this room is also gonna get new drywall, new tile, all types of very fun things. And the laundry room is this room, and I'm actually not sure if I've ever shown you guys this room before, but it's not the cutest room, but it's very practical. So this is just gonna be all cosmetic updates once we go with this sort of situation over here. But that there is the plan. Hello, it is time for some coffee. And I'm gonna sit down and do a little bit of reading. It is just at 8 a.m., so no one is here yet. So Matilda and I are enjoying the front room while we can. Soothing reading vibes. Just kidding, I'm not complaining at all. They're actually working so fast and barely making a mess at all. And Matilda and I are just vibing in this room. I'm a little flushed because it's warm. I let the sunshine come in. Hi friends, work for day one has officially been completed. And as I said, I've just been hanging out in my room to stay out of everyone's way during this process. I actually had a lot of like admin work and editing to do, so I actually pretty much was busy with that all day. But I actually had a moment to start The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. Did have to spend an hour reminding myself like what happened and what this book was even about going into book 3, but luckily there was some wonderful recaps and even a recap in the book itself. I like studied the character glossary, and after an hour of doing that, I felt prepared to continue. But before I show you my house right now, which is wild, I cannot believe how much was accomplished in one day. Let's talk a little bit about the Bloodsworn saga by John Gwynne because it's so good. So this is a Norse and Viking inspired fantasy series, and it's basically set in a landscape where all of the gods were killed off, and now humanity uses like the relics of the god to have power, like the bones and other like items that they've left behind. Structurally and politically speaking, the land is kind of divided into small communities, but at the beginning of book 1, there are a few individuals who are seeking power and seeking to sort of unite this land under like one banner. There are warrior bands who are groups of warriors who go out to seek fame, glory, and money. And we're also following a main character who is setting out on a path for revenge to try to find her lost son who was stolen at the beginning of book 1. We follow a slew of characters who are part of different warrior bands. And from there we learn about their connections, their paths, their hopes, their dreams. There's a lot of like interconnectedness in the plot as you begin to follow characters initially on their own paths and journeys, but things begin to crisscross quite a bit, which is why I needed such a refresher going into book 3, because I was like, so much has happened. Something to know about John Gwynne too is that his action writing is like top tier. It's bloody and gruesome and just like so well executed that it's like very visual. And I'm not someone who, I don't know, I've never been in a fight. So like, I just feel like he does a really good job like illustrating like what is literally going on, and the combat scenes don't feel like jumbled or messy or confusing. They're very like crisp to follow. So I feel like reading his books for the action sequences is like HD reading. I'm like, oh yeah, you know? It's like just like constantly fantastic battle sequences that are also so unbelievably gruesome. And it's not just like large scale warfare, which there is, and that's great, but there's also like smaller elements of combat. But yeah, this is a multi-POV series, so we're following lots of characters, good and bad, again, on their specific storylines, giving us a lot of purview in, you know, sight lines into like multiple groups sort of moving through different spaces. Again, because this plot has escalated quite a bit. Not only human aims and goals as they seek to regain power, but gods are at play, as, you know, as hinted in the synopsis of book 1. They're kind of wanting to awaken once again. So like there's all these tenuous alliances occurring, and it is bananas. So obviously going into book 3, the final book in this trilogy, everything should be coming to a head. But over the past 2 books too, a lot of stuff happened already. Like a lot of action, a lot of combat. It's been a wild time. So I'm really excited to finally be reading this 3rd and final book. It came out recently. I feel situated in the story once again. I know the characters, I know what's happening. It took me a minute, but I'm there. I read a quick 30 pages, which was like 4 POV chapters. John Gwynne's writing is like very easy to digest too. It's not that he's trying to be super confusing. He just typically has like a lot of characters. And anyway, it's all great, but let me show you the demo of my house. It is bananas, okay? All right, here it is. There's Millie. It's so nice because they have sectioned off our house so effectively. Like I can let Matilda out and not have to worry about her even getting into any construction area, and I'm so grateful. So we're doing like a mini project here because a large part of the project that we're doing has to do with our plumbing, and we need to update the plumbing behind our sink. So they had to rip into this area. So we took it as an opportunity to update the eventual end game material to match it to the color of our cabinets. So that's will be painted green soon, but this is gonna be ripped down in a couple of days to do a bunch of plumbing work. The first big room we're tackling is our laundry room, and it's like crazy. Like, okay, ready? Are you ready for this? Look at this. Look at this room. Like everything is gone. We have washer and dryer used to be there. This is gonna be like so transformed. I'm quite literally so shook. And then the other big room in our house that we're doing is the bathroom, which is the primary project, again, because of all the plumbing we need to do. They have to open the walls. We found some water damage. It's not great, but like we were anticipating these types of things. It's gonna be very dark in there because there's currently no lights. We're installing can lights in here, and we took down the one light fixture that was functioning. But we also are absorbing a closet to make it bigger, and it feels massive now. This door is also going away. This is going to be walled up because we definitely don't need 2 entrances to this bathroom. But for now, it lives and allows me easy access because the other part is sectioned off. But here's our water damaged toilet area. But our wall used to end here, and this used to be a sink that came out during this walkway. So this was like a very narrow walkway, but there was a closet here, so we opened it up. And so now the sink is gonna go back here, and this will be in just a walkway. It'll be so much space. We also have a bigger vanity here, better storage, just better utilization overall. Here's our shower. This is a cast iron tub. They just covered it to protect it. We're keeping the original tub in the house because it's in really good shape, very high quality material, no need to replace it. So they just covered it to protect it, but we got rid of all that shower tile I hated. And the reason why I'm so grateful for how they did prep is like, look how encased this is. Like my books are all on the other side of this like tarp barrier. They're all safe. They're safe and sound. There's a tour of where we're at. It's really not gonna progress much past that over the course of this vlog. It's gonna be demo, and then plumbing is starting this week. So like a lot of really incredible and important inward facing stuff, but that's kind of how it's gonna be for like a while. It's like electrical, plumbing, Drywall will be a big day, but that won't be for a while. Anyway, another news, I'm also making dinner. Dinner today is something quick, easy, but tasty. I'm making like a pasta with some vegetables, some sausage, some canned sauce. I'm roasting some sweet potatoes because I had some. And that's it. That's literally it. So we'll be eating very soon. These are my roasted sweet potatoes I made. This is my jar sauce pasta. I really thought I did a really good job on the amount, but I just can never not make it a ginormous amount of pasta. It's a blessing and a curse, mostly just a blessing. Good morning, Matilda girl. You're being very cute, very cozy this morning next to your Dexter wall of plastic. In other news, it is definitely time for some coffee. Our plumbing begins today, so I think most of the water in this house is gonna be off, which should be very interesting. And also, another update, lots of changes in this vlog. I did get a haircut and I am starting the process of going back blonde because honestly, I'm too lazy for red hair. I loved the era, but people weren't lying that dyeing your hair red is a lot of work and blonde is so easy for me. So we're circling back to that. Hello everyone. The day has elapsed. It's just you and me now and Clay who's working. So really just you and me. You're now the proud owners of a new water line that is completely up to code and modern. And our water pressure is so much better. I was like washing dishes and I was like, what? Anyway, no, it's the little things. I am gonna sit down now and read some of the Fury of the Gods. Yes, I also have the ebook copy of this because I am excited about my new Kindle and sometimes it's just fun to read chunky books on a Kindle. I'm only on page 68 of this book. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to read, but I feel like the tide is turning in that regard over the next few days. So I'm getting back on track with that. Gonna read now, gonna make a quick easy dinner, gonna play a little bit of my Nintendo Switch and relax. And then tomorrow we get all new sewage. So big day in this house. I'm waiting for my water to boil, so I thought I would actually do a reading update. I have read 100 pages of the third book, The Fury of the Gods. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of a barrier to entry with this because I forgot so much. So I had to spend so much time remembering stuff. And then even starting the story, it was interesting, but like I had to like reacclimate with my feelings for the characters. But I feel like I'm so over that. And now I'm like obsessed. This is like a TV show I can't put down. I cannot emphasize enough how good John Gwen is at writing combat. Hello, Clay.
Hi.
He's back from the office.
I brought you snacks.
You brought me snacks? Wow, they are really good. Oh, I love this type of...
You do?
Yeah, it's my favorite kind. I love these too. They had really good snacks at your office. Wow, I'm all snacked up now. What was I saying? Oh, I cannot emphasize enough how good John Gwen is at writing like combat scenes. I just read a sequence of chapters where my mouth was shocked over and over and over again. And there was one scene that was so cool. Like he's so able to capture these feelings I feel like I only have watching like a really well executed action movie because he just creates that visual experience in your head. And if anyone has read this, let's just say one character had another character grab his hair. Oh, it was just so good. It was so good. And then like the intensity and the action, the series moves so quickly because there's so many different like kind of power players maneuvering. Some are like loosely aligned, some of them are like clear enemies, but the board is shifting and people's priorities are all over the place. You know, some people are seeking revenge, some people are trying to save their children, some people are trying to you know, protect the land or take over the land. And then there's all these other people like within these larger schemes and their own like stuff that's going on with them. Obviously, going into book 3, there's lots of characters I love. Orca in particular is like my favorite character. I'm ride or die for her. I think she's such a fascinating character. And in general, I love when there's like mother figures within fantasy. And she's just such a good one. But there's great side characters, story arcs, so like things are culminating in book 3. Sorry, my house is chaos right now. And it's been satisfying. And I feel like now I'm like very situated in it. To the point where I'm like very excited to keep reading, which is always a good feeling. That's that. Also, does anyone know how to clean Kindles? I feel like I got fingerprints all over this. And I don't know, my wiping with my sweater method is not working. Watching some of our favorite show. Saoirse Ronan's husband. But we do love slow horses. And there's only 3 episodes left.
Well, yeah, well, spoiler alert.
And there's the hole in our wall that we blocked with the table so Millie doesn't go in there. Yeah. Cheers. Hello. I'm back in bed with my Kindle. And we're gonna read more of The Fury of the Gods, so cheers. Good morning, everyone. Let's make some coffee. Random update. We got a new faucet. That doesn't match our old sink. But eventually I'd like a new sink. But our old faucet broke with all the plumbing, like there was something going on with it. New faucet. Wow. It's nice though. It's a lot nicer than our old one. Good news, bad news. Good news is I'm wearing this little Henley I got from my newly. Very obsessed. And I've really been enjoying utilizing my Kindle Color Soft. I've never had a Kindle where it's like touch to turn the page, but I actually really like it. And it feels kind of like hands-free. So there's that. Bad news. Clay and I have to get a new sewer line. Oh no. If you're a plumber watching this, you know, and I know it's a bummer, but you know, we'll make it through. And at least we caught it before anything catastrophic happened. But now I'm gonna sit and enjoy my coffee this morning, and I'm gonna do some reading of The Fury of the Gods. I've read about 150 pages so far. Not bad. And I'm also gonna go try to find some stickers, I think, to decorate the back of my Kindle case. And we're gonna stay positive over here. Positive. Tacos, obviously, on this Saturday. Ignore a fridge like this, because I am. And I'm gonna sit down now, eat this. Clay also got a Sam's Club sized bag of Nerds clusters. Happy for him. And he got me Reese's Trees, so we're quite good on candy at the moment. Watching a little football, and then I'm gonna do some reading. Alrighty, I've officially passed the 40% mark of this book. And I gotta be honest, at least recently anyway, I don't know if I've read a book with more combat and fight scenes ever. Probably not ever, but like there are so many. It's like action sequence after action sequence, and because we're reading from different perspectives and sometimes characters are like crossing with each other, we'll even be in the same conflict but perhaps absorbing it from different angles and being able to see different characters within like one sequence of time. So it makes the combat feel like really intense and really drawn out. You're just like, oh my gosh. And then we like get through one scrape and we're again in another and another and another. So if you like combat in your books, definitely read John Gwen, but wow. It is bananas. And the thing is too, I will say John Gwen definitely has stakes. There was a moment in this book that like shocked me and also was like very emotionally impactful. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely quieter moments of politicking and like setting the stage, but given that this is a finale novel, it's giving finale as it relates to like lots and lots and lots of combat and things sort of coming to a head and like very intense situations, close calls, scrapes our heroes have to survive or not survive depending on certain circumstances. Like it's been go pretty much from the very beginning of this book, like an unrelenting pace while reading this, and it's like, wow, that's my update. Hi, I have been reading much slower for this vlog than I was anticipating, if I'm being honest. I think just elements of this project have pulled me in my attention span away from books. But I feel like I'm in a really good place with work, with this situation after a few hiccups this past week, and I'm now gonna sit down and do a little bit of a reading sprint. I've passed the 50% mark, so I'm by no means not reading. I was hoping I'd be a little bit further. I'm still crossing my fingers that I'm gonna be able to finish this book before the end of the vlog. But either way, we're gonna give it the old college try. And sometimes you just fail. You try and you fail, and that's just okay. I can't beat myself up about it. I'm still gonna finish this book. I just don't know if I can finish it. I'm rambling. Reading sprint time, and then I'm gonna watch the Great British Baking Show. I've been saving it, and play a little bit of the Zelda game I've been playing because I'm so in love with that game right now. Rambling. Reading sprint time. Let's go. Did it. I read another 10% of my book, and it is almost time for me to prep my side dishes for dinner. We're having a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store tonight, my favorite. But obviously I need to do a reading update of The Fury of the Gods, and now that I have about 40% of this book left, I'm finally like over that initial hump, but I do plan to read more tonight. I'm liking this book. It's starting to have that really satisfying phenomenon of when you're in kind of the end game sequence, characters and things are finally happening after so much time. And I feel like the reveals and moments where these significant things are occurring are also well done in the way that, like, as an audience member, like, it's so fun to encounter them, or so intense or so interesting. Something too that I appreciate about this series is that, yes, there's a lot of action, but alongside that, I do think there is quite, you know, compelling political, you know, dialogue, a lot of characters who have to overcome, you know, obstacles, both emotional and physical, characters moving up the ranks in power in ways that they never anticipated, having to deal with loss or success or new challenges. And I appreciate that there is, you know, space for these types of like introspective character moments and character connections too, from friendships to other types of relationships. It really fills out the whole reading experience to feel like very satisfying, because it's not just action, it's not just character work, like it's a nice balance of both. Though I'll say it definitely leans more in the action category, but there still are lots of characters you will like and hate and root for. And as these storylines begin to compound and come together in this final movement and sequence, as we're sort of building up to this epic, massive battle that I'm sure is going to be many chapters long, I'm still enjoying that sort of middle piece, which I think could and is often in other series like maybe a little boring, as you're sort of just like waiting around for the, you know, final sequence to occur. But I'm enjoying even the movement of characters and people, the, you know, people reuniting, people learning new information, people sort of changing their plans. I'm having a good time. All that to say is making good progress, gonna read more tonight. Maybe I will be able to finish this book. I hope so. I especially feel like as I get into that end sequence, it's gonna be hard to put down. But we will see. I'm not gonna put that pressure on myself, but I am gonna go start dinner. Remember to check your carrots because there is a recall in America. My carrots are fine, but check your carrots. When they're about almost 5 minutes from being done cooking. I'm gonna toss them in hot honey as well. These should be so good. Dinner is served with my bays in the tent and with my other bays making deals. Now friends, after a nice gaming and TV watching session, we read. Time to read more The Fury of the Gods, and wow, are they furious. I'm home stretching it, people. What am I on? I am past the 400 page mark, 77% done with this book. She's doing the dang thing. I have just over 100 pages left, and given the antics of this book at this juncture, I mean, the battle has begun, and I know it's going to be like acts. We're gonna have ebbs and flows, but like the intensity, the gruesomeness, how we're kind of shifting to all these different perspectives on the battlefield is so interesting. Also, it's just like such high payoff, so many characters, so many big and small like animosities between characters. There's obviously this large sweeping movement of like trying to protect this land from this evil god and their, you know, like pervasive corrupting power, you know, and everything is sort of just coming to a head. And I've started the battle sequence and it's crazy so far, and it's only just getting started. It's like, you know, the final Lord of the Rings movie where it's just like battle, 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 Aragorn's opening the doors. Like it's like battle, battle, battle. So good stuff, good stuff. And I'm tracking to finish it. I actually think I'm going to be able to finish it, which I think is more of a virtue of how engaging this book is, because really mentally have not been the best reader at the moment. But I'm happy I've had this book to be so gripping and entertaining through this process. I feel like I've had to be pretty vague about this. Third book in a series though, I don't want to spoil anything on accident. But like high level stuff here. Great character work, satisfying character arcs, lots of action, lots of combat. I feel like this series is wrapping up in a much more finessed and satisfying way than the Malice series, which I read last year and partially enjoyed, but didn't really like the end. I feel like this feels a lot, I feel like he's maintained the grittiness and the story feels very true to the characters through the end, which I'm really appreciating because I struggled with that with this last series. So I feel like there's been growth here, which I also like to see. And yeah, 77%, 120 pages left, all happening. It's all coming to an end. And it lines up with all my plumbing work coming to an end too. Our sewer line is almost installed. We have a massive trench in front of our house, which is just a wild visually thing to see. But you know, we're getting there. Book's almost done, plumbing's almost done. Yeah. Alrighty friends, I'm in bed. I'm finishing this book now. I'm 82% of the way in. We are about to go. It's time to focus, eye on the prize. I'm finishing this. This end sequence is bananas. Bananas. Hi guys, it's Reagan and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I'm so happy to report I finished The Fury of the Gods, all 528 pages of it, which I'm going to take as a win. And we're also on the final day of our like 4-day plumbing situation. So I'm so excited that both of these things are basically either complete or almost complete. Huzzah! The Fury of the Gods was one of my most anticipated releases for this year, as it is the final book to a fantasy series I have been enjoying now for quite a while. Overall, I would say this was a pretty entertaining concluding novel. I always struggle a bit with concluding novels because a lot of it has to be focused on wrapping things up versus sort of keeping you on your toes all the way through. But I do feel like John Gwen kept us pretty entertained, not only with the level of like combat present in this, because that was wild. I felt like every other section there was like another interesting and different battle scene. It didn't feel repetitive, but there was just like a lot of combat. There were still shifting alliances, interesting character moments, betrayals, and new relationships being formed, which I appreciated. Some aspects of the story were maybe expected or a little like stereotypical to the genre, but I also feel like this book sort of leaned into that in a way that I didn't mind too much. That being said though, I do feel like this was a pretty dang good final novel in a series that I have really enjoyed and would for sure recommend it, especially if you love combat forward, classic style, multi-POV fantasy stories. This was quite entertaining through and through, and I'm so happy to say I have officially completed it. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog and also joining me on my construction journey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye!